Welcome. My name is Scott. Thank you for taking the time to explore MindMup, a mind mapping web application with me. Mind maps are a time-honored visual approach to organizing our thoughts and ideas, project plans, elements in a story, or just about anything else you can think of. An outline of sorts, but one that seeks to clarify relationships among elements beyond that which is possible in a traditional linear outline. I have used analog, pencil, and paper mind maps within as well as outside of the classroom for years. I have also employed computer-based tools, most notably Inspiration and Kidspiration, from time to time. Now, among the plethora of Web 2.0 apps that we see before us, are quite a few interesting mind mapping apps. I ultimately chose to present MindMup here, primarily due to the degree and quality of its integration with Google Drive. Though you can use MindMup as a standalone tool, the collaborative opportunities that integration with Drive present sold me on this tool. Now let's explore this further together. MindMup is optimized for Chrome, though I have successfully tested it on Firefox, Opera, and Internet Explorer. I will be using Chrome for this balance of this presentation. One of the really powerful features in MindMup is that it not only does it allow you to share your maps easily with others via Google Drive, but the current version, which is version 2.0, enables real-time collaboration. That is, updates to a map are reflected as they are made for all users, rather than needing to wait for changes to be saved. MindMup can be accessed by navigating to www.mindmup.com. The screen you see before you is the standard view for any new project. The toolbar, which is really more of a floating palette, provides easy access to the majority of MindMup tools. Should it disappear, you can always bring it back by selecting Show Toolbar from the View menu. Each of the connected elements in a map is referred to as a node, represented as the proverbial leaf in the toolbar. Managing nodes and their connections with one another is at the heart of this tool. In the past, I have used my maps for organizing projects, breaking problems into their component parts, planning for website design, and delineating relationships among entities, much in the way one would organize a traditional family tree. For this tutorial, I will recreate a map that I originally produced with pen on paper several years ago. Though the content, application, and audience for your maps may differ from that which I present here, the tool itself is quite nimble, thus can work across a wide variety of applications. One of the activities that I've really enjoyed over the years, whether working with my students or on projects for myself, has been the activity of website design. Now, mind maps in general are a really great tool for doing this. When I first created, I'd just like to briefly show you this website I created a few years ago, Steamster. It's just really a compilation of projects that I worked with students on over several years. I did the outline for this, that is the mind map for this, on scraps of paper. This, pencil, pen on paper, notepads, backs of envelopes, things like that. And it strikes me that, and I knew how to use Inspiration and everything else, but that was just sort of my way. And it strikes me that MindMup would be a really cool way to do this instead. And so what I thought I'd do is just step back a few years and say, okay, if I were doing this now and I hadn't created the website yet, how might I approach that? So the canvas always opens like this. It starts with a single node in the center. In the context of a web page we're really talking about, we'll call this the home page. So I'm going to double click on it, and I'm going to write home. All right, home page, maybe a hyphen, and steamster.org. All right, now what I'll do is beneath it are some of the other pages. If we go back to the website for just a second, you'll see that there is one called Duct Tape Regatta, there's one called Jug Band, there's one called Ramp It Up, there are a whole bunch of them. But I'll do kind of the framework for a few of those. We won't do the whole thing, that would take quite a bit too long probably. Now this concept of, I'll bring the toolbar over, which you just click on it and drag it. Most of this is click and drag, really straightforward. If you click on the button on the toolbar that says Add Child, it will add a child. That is, this is a level that is just below the original node. When I say just below, not necessarily physically below, but if you think of it as a family tree, a child rather than a parent. So this one I'll call Duct Tape Regatta. Then I'll add another child, and we'll call this one Jug Band. And we'll add one more, and we'll call this one of the other projects is called Ramp It Up. Now notice that all of these nodes you can drag anywhere you want around the canvas, and the connectors will stay connected and they will sort of reorient themselves. And whether you want them all, beneath, whether you want them to the side, and so forth, that's really up to you. But you can see that you have a lot of flexibility here, which is really a nice thing. Now, one of the things that is kind of fun, though, to do sometimes is, let's do this on the home page. I'll select the home page node and add a picture, make the visual aspect of it more interesting. So I'm going to click over here. Again, I'm in the on the toolbar. Click on the icon option, click Select File, and this will be a standard box with Steamster. Here's the image I was going to use. And there it is. 308 by 200 seems too big to me. Maybe I'll make it, 200 by whatever size that ends up being. I told it I'm going to leave this, keep proportions, just let it figure it out. So 200 by 129 sounds good. Tell it to save, and there you go. There it is. So before I do anything else, I want to make sure that this is really and truly saving. Okay? So in order to do that, and again, you notice I've got a lot of screen area here with nothing on it right now, but these do fill up quickly. I want to go up to the upper right corner and see that I have Save selected. Now notice that the little Google Drive icon is here. There are other options here. You can save to MindMup and so forth, but Google Drive is really our focus. So I'll click Save. It is saving, and it is saving to my Drive account because my Drive account was logged on when I opened MindMup. So if you use Google Drive and your Google Drive is open when you open MindMup, this is what you'll see. Well, you won't see this, but you'll see the home page for all this. Right? Now, the next thing I wanted to do is just show that you can do even children below this, and you can keep going, again, much like a family tree. So you can add another child, and under Jug Band I know we had some bottle experiment data. And we had some, I'll do another one. Harbor test. That's a video, but I don't need to put that. Okay. So this is really great. Now what's really wonderful about this version is that if you go up here, there's a collaboration tool. And you can start collaboration. And if you do that, we won't do that now because it's just me. We could open additional web browsers, but that would be a longer tutorial. But this will enable us to edit with others in real time, just as you can on a traditional Google Doc. So if somebody made a change right now, I would see it right now, which is really, really a cool thing. And it was really the thing that, from my standpoint, and I'm going to go save again right now before I forget. It's one of the really, truly compelling things about MindMup to me. That was one of the things that was particularly interesting. Another thing I like about this is this aspect of being able to put additional notes, and they listed here sort of attachments on your nodes. So, for instance, under Harbor test or bottle experiments, I might put a note that puts more detail than you can really fit well on a node. So I might put something to the effect of data to be collected during the first marking period of whatever year it is. Okay, and then you tell it to save, and it saves with a little paperclip to your node, and as you move it, it moves. And this is really neat because if you're building a web page, what you might do, or a website, what you might do is put your actual text for each of the pages on the site in there. So it's all contained in one place. Thus you can have a bunch of different students working on one website simultaneously doing the prep for it, doing their individual parts all in the same document in preparation for real design and launch. And it's really a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful collaborative tool in that respect. There are lots of other features to this. You can change, they now have a straight line version, which appeals to some people. Some people get a little bit, when you start to get a big map with a lot of curves, and I've seen some that are that way, they get kind of messy. So this is kind of nice that you can get straight lines now. And there are other tools you can do. Siblings, which would simply be, rather than a subservient sort of beneath the current node, it would be on par with, parallel to the current node that's selected. And there are other ways of looking at it and viewing it and so forth, and you can change your zoom level as so. And you can just click and drag the canvas. Click and dragging is such, it makes life so much easier, and you really don't need, there are keystroke shortcuts, but you really don't need them in this tool. So at any rate, I think this is one of these tools and one of these applications that can serve in so many roles. I've used it in a number of roles, not just on websites, and I hope this has been helpful. Thank you.